was 11:43 p.m. on March 18, 2018, in Riverview, Florida. And you know, nights like that usually end with nothing more than a quiet yawn and lights out. What began as a frantic 911 call
911, what's your emergency?
quickly transformed into a scene of unspeakable horror. A mother pleaded for her life, her voice cut off mid-scream. A neighbor heard chilling words. "Allahu Akbar! She killed me!" Moments later, the house erupted in violence, leaving 2 dead, a child critically wounded, and a community shattered. In a case so brutal, a judge later called it the worst she had seen in 19 years on the bench.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Mr. O'Neal,
All right.
listen, stop,
All right.
listen to me.
I'm
You're
not-
not gonna raise your voice again.
I'm
You're
not going to raise my
your
voice again. I'm not.
I will have you removed from this courtroom. I can sentence you without you being present.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't conduct
I
yourself.
understand, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Ronnie Oneal III was born and raised in Florida. In his youth, he seemed like many others in his neighborhood, full of energy, active in local activities, and even a member of his church choir. He attended East Bay High School in Gibsonton, but his academic performance was always a struggle. Despite the challenges, he managed to graduate. He had dreams of joining the U.S. Marine Corps and even took the entrance exam, but he failed to pass. Faced with limited opportunities, O'Neal took on various jobs, including working at a casino and later as a truck driver. Life was far from stable. O'Neal also faced personal struggles. His father, who suffered from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, was not a part of his life. Ronnie himself began running into trouble with the law. He was arrested several times for nonviolent offenses, including theft, marijuana possession, and driving without a valid license. His last known arrest before the murders was in 2009. At some point, he met Kenyatta Kiki Barron. Kiki was known for her warmth, ambition, and devotion to her children. Together, they had 2 kids. Their daughter, Ron Nevea, was born with cerebral palsy and autism, and was nonverbal. She required constant care and special attention. Their son, Ronnie IV, was healthy and active. The couple's relationship was turbulent. They never married, and eventually they split up. In 2012, a court ordered O'Neal to pay child support, but he often fell behind. Kiki focused on improving her life, even returning to college to build a better future for her children. In 2016, O'Neal had another child with a new girlfriend, and his life seemed to drift further from stability. He also developed a strong interest in Islam, identifying publicly as a member of the Nation of Islam. But in November 2017, a drive-by shooting in Tampa changed everything. O'Neal was critically injured in that shooting. He nearly died on the operating table when his heart stopped several times during surgery. After his release from the hospital, he found himself homeless, without family or friends willing to take him in. In a show of compassion, Kiki, despite their history, invited him to stay at her home while he recovered. Her mother advised against it, warning that it could end badly. But Kiki believed in forgiveness. That act of kindness would prove fatal. It was a quiet Sunday evening in Riverview, Florida. In the O'Neal Barron home, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, until chaos erupted shortly before midnight. At 11:43 p.m., Kenyatta Barron dialed 911.
911, what's your emergency?
Her voice was frantic, filled with desperation. The operator could hear her pleading and screaming. In the background, a man, Ronnie Oneal, shouted phrases like, "She killed me!" and "Allahu Akbar." Then the call abruptly cut off. Next door, neighbor James Gray Jr. was visiting his fiancée when he heard loud banging and terrified screams. Instinctively, he told his fiancée and her daughter to stay inside and call 911. Stepping outside, he saw the front door of his neighbor's home open. Smoke drifted through the air. Two figures stood inside the long foyer. Blood was visible on the walls. Gray saw Kenyatta lying face down on the floor, motionless. Oneal stood over her, gripping her arm. In his other hand was an object Gray couldn't clearly identify. Oneal shouted, "You don't understand!" and "She killed me!" Gray tried to get him to step away, but Oneal kept yelling, "Allahu Akbar! You don't understand! She killed me!" Then Oneal dropped her arm and retreated deeper into the house. Minutes later, Oneal himself called 911.
911, what's your emergency?
Claiming he had been attacked by white demons and accusing Kiki of trying to kill him. His voice was oddly calm as he gave the address. Inside the house, violence escalated. Oneal attacked his 9-year-old daughter, Ronnie Oneal, with a hatchet. The blows were so severe that she was mutilated beyond recognition. He then turned on his 8-year-old son, stabbing him repeatedly before dousing him in gasoline and setting him on fire. Despite the horrific injuries, Ronnie IV somehow escaped. He stumbled out of the house, his small body covered in blood, his abdomen slashed open. He clutched himself to keep his organs from spilling out. When a detective reached him, the boy uttered words that would echo through the trial. "My father shot my mother." When investigators and medical examiners reviewed the scene, the level of brutality shocked even seasoned professionals. Kenyatta Barron had been shot in the back of her right shoulder. She had also been struck with the shotgun itself, causing over 15 deep lacerations to her head. Her skull was fractured in 6 or 7 places. Her jaw and multiple facial bones were broken. Several of her teeth had been knocked out. The official cause of death was brain hemorrhaging due to blunt force trauma. Ronnie Oneal's injuries were just as devastating. The special needs child had been struck repeatedly with a hatchet. The attack was frenzied, leaving her completely unrecognizable. Ronnie IV's survival was nothing short of miraculous. He suffered multiple stab wounds and severe burns. The gasoline poured over him had ignited, but he somehow managed to escape the house before the flames consumed him. The fire itself spread quickly through the home, fueled by the accelerant. By the time deputies arrived at 11:59 p.m., flames were engulfing much of the structure. Barron was found outside, partially clothed, unresponsive, and beyond help. Inside, fire crews battled both the blaze and the grisly crime scene it concealed. Ronnie Oneal was arrested that night and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted first-degree murder, arson, aggravated child abuse, and resisting arrest. When the case went to trial in June 2021, Oneal made a startling decision. He would represent himself. This choice gave the trial an unusual and disturbing dynamic, especially when it came to one key witness, his surviving son. When Ronnie IV took the stand, he recounted in heartbreaking detail the events of that night. He told the jury about seeing his father with a shotgun, about his mother trying to escape, about his sister being struck with an axe, and about being stabbed and set on fire himself. Then came one of the most chilling moments in recent courtroom history. Oneal, acting as his own lawyer, cross-examined his son.
Mr. O'Neill, any questions?
How you doing, Ronnie?
Good.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
Did you see me shoot your mom?
No.
Did I hurt you that night of this incident?
Yes.
I did. And how did I hurt you?
You stabbed me.
O'Neill's defense was that he acted in self-defense, claiming Kiki had attacked him first. He argued that law enforcement had tampered with evidence and that his son had been coached. But the jury saw through these claims. The graphic evidence, combined with his son's testimony, painted a clear picture of what had really happened. On June 21, 2021, the jury found Ronnie Oneal guilty on all counts. The evidence had been overwhelming. Even the bizarre spectacle of him defending himself hadn't swayed them from the horror of what they had seen and heard. During the sentencing phase, Oneal accepted legal representation. The prosecution sought the death penalty, but under Florida law, a unanimous jury is required to impose it. The jury did not reach unanimity, and instead, Oneal was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Judge Michelle Sisko did not mince words during sentencing. She told Oneal,
19 years I've been at this job. I've seen human beings killed at the hands of others in every way imaginable. You name it, I've seen it. Shootings, stabbings, drownings, suffocatings, blown apart by cars in DUI manslaughter cases. Horrible things. This is the worst case I have ever seen.
the sentence was 3 consecutive life terms, plus 60 additional years, ensuring that Oneal will spend the rest of his days behind bars. While the trial concluded the legal chapter of this case, the human story continued. Ronnie IV, after enduring multiple surgeries and a long recovery, faced the challenge of finding a permanent home. He had gone through 2 foster placements that didn't work out. One of the detectives who had responded to the crime scene, Mike Blair, had visited the boy in the hospital. Over time, a bond formed. In November 2019, Detective Blair and his wife took Ronnie into their home. Eventually, they adopted him, giving him not just a new family, but a new name, Ronnie Blair. In interviews, Ronnie has expressed that he feels safe, loved, and finally part of a family that truly cares for him. For the Blairs, the decision to adopt him was life-changing. They described the moment he asked Detective Blair if he could watch a movie with him as the moment they knew they were meant to be his parents. This adoption became a symbol of resilience and hope, a reminder that even in the darkest tragedies, there can be light. A night of rage and incomprehensible violence destroyed one family, yet from its ashes, a single light survived. Ronnie Blair now lives in love and safety, no longer defined by the darkness he endured. The justice system delivered its verdict, but it was human connection, compassion, adoption, healing that offered true redemption. Even in the deepest trauma, a new beginning awaits those who survive. Thanks for watching this episode of True Crime Briefing. If this story moved you, or made you think, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. We're here to tell the stories behind the headlines, the pain behind the verdicts, and the people behind the crimes. Let us know your thoughts on this case in the comment section. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.